It was a cold morning in Charlotte, North Carolina. The sun had barely risen over the horizon, but Maya Thompson was already awake, sitting at the kitchen table with her hands wrapped around a cup of coffee that had long gone cold. Her distant gaze was fixed on the stack of bills on the table. The bright colors of the overdue notices seemed to mock her situation. She took a deep breath, trying to push away the growing sense of despair inside her. "I'm going to find a way out of this," she murmured to herself, as if the words had the power to change reality. "I have to find one." Maya was a strong woman, used to carrying the weight of the world on her shoulders, but lately the burden felt unbearable. Since the factory where she worked had closed its doors, she had been struggling to keep her head above water. Being a single mother of two wasn't easy, especially with the bills piling up every day. The soft footsteps of Amara, her 7-year-old daughter, echoed through the house. The girl entered the kitchen, rubbing her sleepy eyes, and approached her mother. "Good morning, Mommy," Amara said, hugging Maya around the waist. "Good morning, sweetheart," Maya replied, forcing a smile. She knew she needed to stay positive, especially in front of the kids. "How about a special breakfast today?" "Pancakes?" Amara asked, her eyes lighting up. "Pancakes," Maya confirmed, getting up to start making the batter. As she mixed the pancake batter, Maya thought about Jaden, her older son, who was already in his room getting ready for school. At 10 years old, he was an intelligent and observant boy, who often noticed more than she would have liked. Maya worried about how the family's financial situation was affecting him. In recent months, he had become quieter, more reserved. As the pancakes cooked in the skillet, Jaden came into the kitchen with his backpack slung over one shoulder. He looked at his mother with a serious expression. "Is everything okay, Mom?" he asked, crossing his arms. It was a question he asked frequently, and Maya always gave the same answer. "Yes, Jaden, everything's fine," she replied, trying to sound convincing. "We're just going through a tough patch, but we'll get through it. I can get a job, you know? Help out with something," Jaden suggested, concerned. Maya paused for a moment and turned to look at her son. He was so young, yet he already felt responsible for the family. The idea of him sacrificing his childhood to help pay the bills was painful for her. "You don't need to worry about that, sweetie. I'm the adult here. I'll figure it out," she said firmly. "Your job is to do well in school and have fun. I'll handle the rest." Jaden nodded, but Maya could still see the worry in his eyes. As the three of them sat down at the table for breakfast, the phone rang. Maya stood up quickly, feeling a chill in her stomach. Lately, calls hadn't brought good news. She answered, trying to control her anxiety. "Hello. Maya, it's Lena," said a familiar voice on the other end. Lena was a close friend who also worked at a local employment agency. "I was thinking about you and just heard about a job opening that might interest you." "What is it?" Maya asked, trying not to let her hope take over. "It's a waitressing position at La Fontaine, that fancy restaurant in Myers Park. I know it's not exactly what you used to do, but I've heard they pay well and the tips are great. I thought it could be a good opportunity for you." Maya paused for a moment, taking in the information. La Fontaine was one of the most upscale restaurants in Charlotte, frequented by the city's elite. The thought of working there was intimidating, but at the same time, she knew she needed to do something to get out of the situation she was in. "Thank you, Lena," Maya said, trying to sound more confident than she felt. "I'll go there today." "Good luck, Maya." "You'll do great," Lena encouraged before hanging up. Maya stood there for a moment, holding the phone in her hand, feeling a mix of fear and hope stirring inside her. She knew this could be the opportunity she had been waiting for, but the thought of working in such a sophisticated environment made her nervous. Jaden watched his mother closely, noticing the change in her expression. "Something good, Mom?" he asked, with a glimmer of hope in his eyes. "Maybe," Maya replied, smiling at her son. "Maybe yes." As the kids got ready for school, Maya couldn't stop thinking about what the day might bring. She knew she had to try, no matter how scary it was. It was a chance to rewrite her family's story, and she couldn't let it slip away. That same day, after dropping the kids off at school, Maya drove to Myers Park. It was an area where the streets were wide and tree-lined, the houses large and imposing, and the cars in the garages always luxury models. Maya didn't visit this part of town often. In fact, most of the places she frequented were miles away from this elegant and seemingly unattainable world. When she parked in front of La Fontaine, the most prestigious restaurant in the area, Maya felt her heart race. The restaurant's facade was imposing, with large glass windows that allowed glimpses of the luxurious interior. Chandeliers hung from the ceiling, and the tables were covered with pristine white cloths. Maya adjusted her white blouse and smoothed down her black skirt, trying to appear confident. Taking a deep breath, she walked into the restaurant. The atmosphere was sophisticated, the kind of place that, to many, represented success and opulence. Maya made her way to the reception desk where an elegantly dressed receptionist was stationed, with a perfectly trained smile. "Good morning. Can I help you?" the receptionist asked, her tone polite but with a slight note of condescension. "Good morning," Maya replied, trying to hide the nervousness in her voice. "I'm here to inquire about the waitressing position. I was informed you're hiring." The receptionist, who wore a name tag reading Sophia, gave Maya a quick once-over from head to toe before responding. "Oh, of course. One moment, please," Sophia said with a polite but distant smile. She picked up the phone next to her and called the manager's office. As Maya waited, she stood still, feeling the curious eyes of the few patrons present turning toward her. There was a sense of being out of place, as if she didn't belong there. However, Maya reminded herself of the words she always told Jaden and Amara: "You can be whatever you want, as long as you believe in yourself." A few minutes later, a tall and slender man with a serious demeanor emerged from a side door and walked toward her. He wore a well-tailored suit and had an air of authority. Maya recognized him immediately as the restaurant's manager, Thomas Reed. "You must be Maya Thompson," he said, extending his hand for a firm handshake. "Yes, sir," she replied, shaking his hand. Thomas led her to an empty table in a corner of the restaurant. They sat down, and he began to flip through Maya's resume. "I see you have previous experience as a factory worker and sales associate," he said, not looking up from the paper. "Why do you want to work as a waitress?" Maya had anticipated this question and had prepared an honest and straightforward answer. "I lost my job at the factory a few months ago. Since then, I've been looking for opportunities to support my family. I saw this position as a chance to start over. I know working here demands a lot, but I'm willing to learn and dedicate myself." Thomas watched Maya for a moment, evaluating her sincerity. "This is a very demanding environment. Our clients expect the best, and we have to deliver the best. Are you ready to handle that?" Maya met Thomas's gaze, and despite her anxiety, she answered firmly, "Yes, I'm ready. I'm dedicated and hardworking. I just need a chance to prove it." Thomas remained silent for a few seconds before finally closing the resume. "All right, Maya. We'll give you that chance. Start tomorrow at 7 a.m. It will be a training day. Don't be late." "Thank you, Mr. Reed. I promise I'll do my best," Maya said, feeling a wave of relief and gratitude. "I'll be watching," Thomas replied, not smiling, but with a tone indicating he wanted to see how she would perform. Maya left La Fontaine feeling both nervous and hopeful. There was a mountain to climb, and the path wouldn't be easy, but she had taken the first step. As she got into her car, Maya closed her eyes for a moment, feeling the weight of responsibility on her shoulders. However, she knew she had to press on. This was the golden opportunity she had been waiting for, and she couldn't afford to fail. When she arrived home that night, Jaden was at the kitchen table, working on his homework. He looked up at his mother with curiosity. "How did it go, Mom?" he asked as Maya sat down next to him. "I got the job," Maya replied, smiling. "I start tomorrow." Jaden smiled, feeling a silent pride. "I knew you could do it." Maya ruffled her son's hair and laughed. "Now let's just hope I don't drop anything on my first day." They both laughed together, relieved for a brief moment. Maya knew the real challenge lay ahead, but that night, at least, there was hope in the Thompson home. The alarm rang at 5 a.m., and Maya woke up immediately, her heart racing with anxiety. She had slept little, her mind restless with the expectations and concerns about what lay ahead. The house was almost silent, except for the soft snoring of Amara and Jaden, who were still asleep. Maya got up slowly, trying not to make any noise, and went straight to the bathroom. She looked at herself in the mirror for a moment, studying her reflection. The dark circles under her eyes showed the accumulated fatigue, but there was a determination there, a quiet strength pushing her forward. After getting ready, she put on the outfit she had carefully chosen the night before, a crisp white blouse, a black skirt, and comfortable yet elegant shoes. The perfect uniform for La Fontaine, or at least what she imagined would be appropriate for such a sophisticated place. In the kitchen, she prepared breakfast for the kids. The routine was familiar, but today it had a different flavor, a mix of hope and fear. When the coffee was ready, she went to Jaden and Amara's room and gently woke them up. "Good morning, my loves," she whispered, smiling as she pulled back the covers. Amara opened her eyes slowly, rubbing them with her small hands. "Good morning, Mommy. Are you going to work today?" she asked, still half asleep. "Yes, I am," Maya replied, trying to sound cheerful. "And I want you both to be good at school and behave, okay?" "Yes, Mom," Jaden said, already getting up to dress. He had always been the most responsible, taking on the task of helping his sister. After having breakfast together, Maya kissed each of them before they left for school. "I love you both. I'll see you later." "Good luck, Mom," Jaden said, holding Amara's hand as they headed out the door. Maya watched them leave, feeling the familiar tightness in her chest that came every time she had to part from them. But today was different. Today she had to be strong, not just for herself but for them. Upon arriving at La Fontaine, Maya took a deep breath before walking in. The restaurant was relatively calm at that hour, with only a few staff members preparing the dining room for service. The soft morning light came through the windows, giving the space an almost ethereal quality. Maya was greeted by Thomas Reed, the manager, who was already there as if he never left. He led her to the kitchen, where the head chef, Jean-Luc, a middle-aged French man with a stern expression, was organizing the team. "This is Jean-Luc, our head chef," Thomas said, making the introductions. "Jean-Luc, this is Maya, our new waitress." Jean-Luc barely looked up from what he was doing to acknowledge her. "Bonjour," he muttered with little enthusiasm before returning his attention to the preparation. Maya felt a shiver run down her spine but smiled politely. "Bonjour," she responded, despite the lump in her throat. Noticing the tension, Thomas took Maya back to the dining area and began explaining the rules and procedures. "Here at La Fontaine, perfection is the minimum expected. Our clients pay a premium for it, and you need to ensure that each one receives the quality service they came for." Maya nodded, absorbing every word. "Understood." Thomas continued with detailed instructions, from how to take orders to the proper way to serve wine. Maya was determined to get everything right, memorizing each detail despite the increasing pressure. She knew any mistake could be costly, but her need to succeed was greater than her fear. As the first customers began to arrive, the restaurant was transformed into a scene of elegance and luxury. The tables were perfectly set, and the aroma of refined dishes started to fill the air. Maya tried to stay calm as she took her first customer, a businessman dining alone. She smiled as she took the order, making a conscious effort not to tremble. To her surprise, everything went smoothly, and she delivered the order without problems. The morning passed in a blur of orders, trays, and forced smiles, but Maya managed to hold her own. Each small success gave her a boost of confidence. However, as the clock approached noon, the restaurant became considerably busier, and with that, the pressure increased. Around 1 p.m., when the dining room was fuller, Vivian Carlyle walked into the restaurant. She was a middle-aged woman known for being a regular and demanding customer, always accompanied by a group of high-society friends from Charlotte. Vivian was the type of customer all the staff dreaded, critical, impatient, and often harsh with her words. Maya greeted Vivian's table with a nervous smile. "Good afternoon, ladies. Welcome to La Fontaine. May I take your order?" Vivian scrutinized Maya for a moment, evaluating every detail from her uniform to her posture. "I hope you know what you're doing," Vivian said, her tone already indicating a lack of confidence. "Of course, ma'am. I'm here to make sure everything is perfect for you," Maya replied, trying to sound confident. The women began to place their orders, all complicated with various modifications. Maya noted everything meticulously, but when she delivered the order to the kitchen, she made a mistake. Instead of requesting Vivian's main dish without a specific ingredient, she ordered it the standard way. When the dish was served, Vivian looked at it with disdain and then at Maya. "What is this?" she asked, her voice heavy with contempt. Maya felt panic rise. "It's the dish you ordered, madam." "Definitely not," Vivian replied, raising her voice so everyone around could hear. "I asked for it without bell peppers. Didn't you even pay attention?" Vivian's friends laughed, accompanied by concealed glances from other patrons and even some staff members. Maya felt her face burn with embarrassment. I'm sorry, ma'am. I'll correct it immediately. Vivian shook her head, exhaling frustration. I can't believe they hired someone so incompetent. This place used to be flawless. Look at what it's become now. The laughter continued around her, and Maya felt tears welling up in her eyes. She tried to hold them back, but the humiliation was overwhelming. She had never felt so small, so disregarded. She picked up the plate with trembling hands and quickly turned away, trying to leave before the tears began to fall. When she entered the kitchen, Jean-Luc looked at her, noticing the distress. "What's going on?" he asked, in his usual authoritative tone. I made a mistake with a customer's order," Maya said, her voice faltering. Jean-Luc sighed and shook his head. "We can't afford mistakes here, Maya. Fix it and take it back. And next time, pay attention." Maya nodded, struggling to hold back tears. She knew she couldn't break down right there, not at that moment. She needed to keep going, needed to persist. But the pain and humiliation were eating away at her resolve. When she returned to the dining area, avoiding looking at Vivian's table as much as possible, she encountered a gentle and concerned gaze from an elderly gentleman sitting at a table in the corner. It was Benjamin Carter, a 65-year-old black man, well-dressed and exuding dignity. He had witnessed the whole scene, and something about Maya's expression moved him deeply. He remembered his own youth, the challenges he faced, and felt the urge to do something. As Maya walked by his table, he softly called out to her. "Miss, could you bring me a menu, please?" Still recovering, Maya forced a smile and brought the menu to him. "Here you go, sir." Benjamin looked into her eyes, his expression not one of judgment, but of understanding. "I can see your day hasn't been easy," he said in a calm and comforting tone. Maya blinked, surprised by his kindness. I'm fine, sir. I just need to do my job." "Sometimes people forget that we're all human and we make mistakes," Benjamin said, smiling gently. "Don't let it get to you. Remember who you are and what you're capable of." Benjamin's words stirred something within Maya, like a spark of hope in the darkness. She nodded, feeling tears threatening to come back, but this time for a different reason. "Thank you, sir," she said sincerely. The afternoon wore on, and La Fontaine continued to fill with customers coming and going, while Maya, still shaken by the humiliation, tried to stay focused on her work. Every step she took through the dining room felt like a challenge, as if she were walking on shards of glass. Vivian's cruel voice still echoed in her mind, making her doubt herself. Even so, she forced herself to move forward. She knew she couldn't give up. She had her family to take care of, and this job was her best chance to overcome the crisis. But the weight of humiliation felt almost impossible to bear. As she was near the counter, organizing some utensils, Maya heard the same reassuring voice that had spoken to her earlier. "Miss, could you come over here for a moment?" Maya turned and saw Benjamin Carter, still seated at his table in the corner, gesturing kindly for her. He was alone, with a serene and welcoming expression, and there was something in his eyes that conveyed a deep, almost paternal calm. She hesitated for a moment but walked over to him. "Yes, sir. How can I help?" Benjamin watched her for a moment, as if assessing something beyond what was visible. "I'd like to have a chat with you for a minute, if you're not too busy," he said, his tone making it clear this wasn't just a customer-server conversation. Maya, still feeling out of place, didn't know what to expect. "Of course, sir. What would you like to discuss?" Benjamin smiled in a way that made Maya feel at ease. "Please have a seat," he said, pointing to the chair across from him. Maya looked around, a bit unsure. It was unusual for a staff member to sit with a customer, and she knew she could get in trouble if caught, but something in Benjamin's manner reassured her. "I promise it won't take long," Benjamin assured, noticing her hesitation. She nodded and carefully sat in the chair in front of him, maintaining a professional posture. "Thank you, sir. How can I assist?" Benjamin leaned slightly forward, his hands clasped on the table. "I noticed what happened earlier with that lady," he began, keeping his voice low so only Maya could hear. "And I want you to know that no one deserves to be treated that way, especially someone who's just trying to do their job." Maya lowered her eyes, trying to hide the embarrassment she still felt. "I made a mistake, and she had every right to complain." I just wanted to get it right, she replied, her voice a bit shaky. We all make mistakes, Maya, Benjamin said softly, using her name for the first time. But what defines who we are is how we pick ourselves up after falling. I know what it's like to be in your place. Maya looked at him, surprised by his empathy. Have you been through this before? Benjamin nodded, his eyes softening as he remembered the past. More times than you can imagine. I grew up in circumstances that forced me to fight for everything I have today. And like you, I made many mistakes along the way. But the most important thing is that I never let those mistakes define who I was. Maya felt a wave of emotion rise within her. This man, clearly successful and respected, was sharing something deeply personal with her, and it touched her in a way she hadn't expected. Thank you, sir. Benjamin, she corrected herself, realizing he didn't like excessive formality. Your words mean a lot to me. I was feeling so bad, so small. You're not small, Maya, Benjamin said with a conviction that made her eyes shine. You're strong. You're here, facing challenges that many people wouldn't be able to endure. That says a lot about you. Maya looked at him, trying to absorb what he was saying. Throughout her life, few people had spoken to her in such an encouraging manner. Benjamin leaned back in his chair, still smiling. I own a chain of restaurants here in Charlotte and in other cities. I see a lot of potential in you, Maya. And if you're interested, I'd like to offer you a chance to work in one of my establishments. I believe that, with the right training, you could achieve great things. Maya was completely taken aback. She could hardly believe what she was hearing. You're offering me a job? But why? You barely know me. I know enough, Benjamin said, with a confident look. I see someone who is resilient, who doesn't give up even when things get tough. I value that in a person. Besides, everyone deserves a chance to grow, and I'd like to be the one to give you that chance. Maya felt a mix of emotions that nearly overwhelmed her. Part of her was incredulous, another part was deeply moved and grateful. She didn't know what to say, but the words came, somehow. I don't know how to thank you, Mr. Benjamin. This is more than I could have imagined. I would love to work for you, but what about this restaurant? I just started here. You don't owe anything to this place, Benjamin said firmly but without hostility. The decision is yours, but I want you to know my offer stands. I believe that, in the right environment, you can thrive. Think about it, there's no rush. Maya nodded, still processing everything. I'll think about it, Mr. Benjamin. Thank you so much for the offer. And for believing in me. Benjamin smiled, standing up. Then it's settled. Here's my card, he said, handing her an elegant business card. Call me when you make your decision. And remember, Maya, never let anyone make you feel smaller than you really are. Maya took the card with trembling hands and carefully tucked it into her pocket. As Benjamin left the restaurant, she felt a new energy within her. For the first time in a long while, she didn't feel like just a survivor. She felt like someone who could have a bright future. What had initially seemed like a day of defeat was turning into a new beginning. And Maya was ready to embrace the challenge, willing to do whatever it took to change her life and her family's for the better. That night, after an emotionally exhausting day at La Fontaine, Maya returned home, exhausted but with her mind racing. Benjamin Carter's words echoed in her thoughts, mingling with the doubts and insecurities she still felt. The unexpected offer had ignited a spark of hope, but also brought a series of questions she didn't know how to answer. When Maya walked in the door, Jaden and Amara were sitting on the couch, watching a cartoon. When they saw their mother, they ran to hug her. "Mommy, how was your first day at work?" Jaden asked, his eyes full of curiosity. Maya forced a smile, wanting to shield them from the difficulties she faced. "It was good, honey. A little tiring, but nothing I can't handle." Amara, still clutching Maya's leg, looked up at her with a serious expression. "You look sad, Mommy. Did something happen?" Maya felt a pang in her chest but crouched down to be at her daughter's level and gently stroked her face. "It was a tough day, but I'm okay now that I'm here with you." She got up and went to the kitchen to prepare dinner while the kids returned to the couch. The familiar routine brought some comfort, but doubts continued to swirl in her mind. As she prepared the food, Maya reflected on what to do. Accepting Benjamin's offer seemed like an incredible opportunity, but she didn't want to act impulsively. It was a risky step, and there was so much at stake. During dinner, Maya tried to keep the conversation light with the children, asking about school and their activities of the day. Jaden excitedly talked about a science project he was working on, while Amara spoke about a new friend she had made. "That's great, my loves," Maya said, trying to focus on the conversation, but her mind was still preoccupied with the decision she needed to make. After putting the kids to bed, Maya finally had a moment to herself. She sat on the living room couch, holding Benjamin's business card in her hands, reading and rereading the name and contact details. She knew this decision could change her life, but the uncertainties weighed heavily on her. She picked up the phone, contemplating whether to call her best friend, Danielle, whom she had known since childhood. Maya and Danielle had always supported each other through tough times, and she needed to hear from someone she trusted. After dialing the number, Maya heard Danielle's warm voice on the other end of the line. "Hey, Maya. How are you? How was your first day at work?" Maya took a deep breath. "It was complicated, Danny. Actually, something happened that I need to tell you about." "Sure, friend. Go ahead," Danielle replied, her voice full of concern and attention. Maya shared everything with Danielle, from the mistake she made at the restaurant to the humiliation she endured and, finally, Benjamin Carter's surprising offer. She talked about her doubts and fears, and how she wasn't sure whether to accept the offer or stay at La Fontaine. Danielle listened attentively, without interrupting, and when Maya finished, she paused before responding. "Maya, I know you're feeling uncertain right now, but think about it. How often does someone come out of nowhere and offer you an opportunity like this? This guy saw something in you, something you might not see in yourself yet. He believes you can do more than what you're doing now." "But what if I fail, Danny? What if I accept this offer and can't meet the expectations? I have my kids to take care of. I can't afford to make mistakes." Danielle sighed, understanding the weight Maya carried. "I get it, Maya. You've always been so strong, always put your kids first. But sometimes, to give them the best, you have to take risks. I'm not saying the decision is easy, but maybe this is the chance you've been waiting for to truly make a change." Maya sat in silence, processing her friend's words. She knew Danielle was right, but the fear of failure was paralyzing. "I know you're capable, Maya," Danielle continued with conviction. "You've always been. If you decide to take the offer, I'll be here to support you every step of the way. And if you need help with the kids, you can count on me." Maya felt tears welling up in her eyes, touched by her friend's loyalty and support. "Thank you, Danny. I don't know what I'd do without you." "You won't have to find out," Danielle said with a smile that Maya could almost feel through the phone. "Now, follow your heart, but don't let fear stop you. You're stronger than you think." After hanging up, Maya felt a bit clearer, but she still wasn't ready to make a final decision. She knew she needed to sleep and let her thoughts settle before deciding. However, one thing was certain, that meeting with Benjamin Carter had ignited something within her, a hope she hadn't felt in a long time. As she lay down in bed, Maya allowed herself to dream of a different future, one where she wasn't just surviving, but thriving, becoming the example of strength and success she wanted her children to see. With this thought, she fell asleep, knowing that the decision was nearing and that the next step could be the beginning of a new journey in her life. The next morning, Maya woke up feeling a bit calmer. Danielle's words still echoed in her mind, mixed with memories of her meeting with Benjamin Carter. She knew she needed to make a decision, and she was aware that this choice could completely change her life and her children's. After getting ready and preparing breakfast for the kids, Maya sat at the table with Jaden and Amara, watching them eat their cereal. Amara's light laughter as she told a funny story about her new friend brought a smile to Maya's face. It was for these moments that she fought every day, and she wanted to provide them with a better life. As Jaden and Amara got ready for school, Maya glanced once more at Benjamin's business card, which she had left on the kitchen table. Her hands trembled slightly as she picked it up, but there was a new determination in her eyes. After dropping the kids off at school, Maya sat in the car for a few minutes, staring at the card. Her heart raced as she pondered the decision she was about to make. Finally, she took a deep breath and dialed Benjamin's number. The line rang a few times before Benjamin's calm and familiar voice answered. "Hello, this is Benjamin Carter." "Mr. Carter, this is Maya," she said, her voice sounding a bit firmer than she had expected. "I've thought a lot about your offer." On the other end of the line, Benjamin paused for a moment, waiting for her to continue. "And?" he asked, with a hint of curiosity in his voice. Maya took another deep breath. "I've decided to accept, if the offer is still open." Benjamin smiled, and Maya could almost feel the warmth in his voice as he responded. "Of course it's still open, Maya. I knew you'd make the right choice. When can you start?" "I can start immediately," Maya replied, feeling a wave of relief mixed with excitement. "I just need to talk to my current boss and give him my notice." "That sounds perfect," said Benjamin. "I want you to come to my restaurant tomorrow morning. You'll meet the team, and we'll start your training. I'm confident you'll do great." Maya thanked Benjamin before hanging up. Now that the decision was made, she felt a new kind of energy coursing through her veins. The fear was still there, but it had been replaced by renewed determination. She knew it wouldn't be easy, but she was ready to face whatever challenges came her way. Later that day, Maya went back to La Fontaine to speak with Tom, the manager. She knew it would be a difficult conversation, but she was determined to be honest and direct. When she arrived at the restaurant, it was relatively quiet, with a few customers scattered around the tables. She spotted Tom at the counter, focused on some papers. "Tom, do you have a minute?" Maya asked, approaching with a friendly smile. Tom looked up from his papers and nodded. "Sure. Maya. What's up?" Maya took a deep breath, trying to find the right words. "Tom, I wanted to thank you for the opportunity to work here. But I received a job offer from another restaurant, and I've decided to accept it. So I'm here to resign." Tom frowned, clearly surprised. "An offer from another restaurant? You just started here, Maya. What made you make this decision?" Maya knew she needed to be honest. "I understand that I've only just started, but this offer is an opportunity one can't pass up. It's something that can help me grow in my career and provide a better life for my family." Tom was silent for a moment, evaluating the situation. He knew he couldn't keep her, but he also seemed to respect Maya's determination. "I understand, Maya. I can't hold you back, and it seems like you're doing what's best for you and your family." Maya smiled, relieved by Tom's understanding. "Thank you, Tom. I really appreciate that." "Don't worry," Tom said, extending his hand for a friendly handshake. "Good luck with the new job. I'm sure you'll do great." Maya thanked him again and left the restaurant, feeling lighter than she had expected. The weight of the decision had been lifted from her shoulders, and she was ready to start this new chapter in her life. That evening, when Jaden and Amara asked how her day had been, Maya smiled and said, "Today was a big day. Mommy has a new job, and it's going to be a new adventure for all of us." The kids, not fully understanding the magnitude of the change, cheered excitedly, happy to see their mother content. For Maya, that moment was confirmation that she had made the right choice. She knew the challenges were just beginning, but for the first time in a long while, she felt like she was in control of her own destiny. Maya went to bed that night with a sense of hope she hadn't felt in a long time. She knew the path ahead would be filled with challenges, but she was ready to face them head-on, with determination and courage. The leap of faith she had taken could be the beginning of something extraordinary, and she was ready to discover what the future held. The next morning, Maya woke up early, both anxious and excited. It was the start of a new phase, and she wanted everything to go smoothly. She dressed carefully, choosing an outfit that was both professional and comfortable. She wanted to make a good impression from the very start. Before leaving, Maya made sure to prepare a hearty breakfast for Jaden and Amara. It was her daily ritual, but today she was especially attentive, trying to convey calm and reassurance to her children. "Mommy has a new job, and today is my first day," she said as she set the plates on the table. "It's going to be different, but it's a big opportunity for us." Jaden, always curious, asked, "What are you going to do there, Mommy?" Maya smiled, sitting down with them. "I'm going to work at a different restaurant, a place where I can learn a lot and grow in my career. It's a big step, but I'm really excited." Amara looked up at her mother with wide, admiring eyes. "Are you going to be the boss of everyone, Mommy?" Maya laughed, gently touching Amara's nose. "Not yet, sweetheart. But maybe one day. The important thing is that I'm going to do my best, as always." After dropping the kids off at school, Maya drove to Benjamin's restaurant with her heart pounding. The place was impressive yet welcoming. The large windows let in plenty of natural light, and the atmosphere was elegant but not pretentious. The name of the restaurant, the Magnolia Table, was on a tasteful, discreet sign at the entrance. As she walked in, Maya was greeted by Alice, the restaurant manager, a middle-aged woman with a warm smile and a confident demeanor. "You must be Maya," Alice said, extending her hand. "Benjamin spoke highly of you. Welcome to the Magnolia Table." Maya shook Alice's hand, feeling a bit more relaxed with the friendly reception. "Thank you, I'm very happy to be here." Alice gave Maya a brief tour of the restaurant, showing her the kitchen, the dining area, and introducing her to the staff. Everyone seemed welcoming, though a few curious glances were inevitable. It was always like this in a new environment, but Maya was determined to fit in and prove her worth. After the tour, Alice led Maya to the office where Benjamin was waiting. He was sitting at his desk but stood up immediately when he saw her. "Maya, it's great to see you. I hope you were welcomed well," Benjamin said, with his usual warm smile. "Yes, everyone has been very kind," Maya replied, feeling more confident. Benjamin nodded. "Great. I want you to know that this place is like a family. We work together, support each other, and I believe you'll fit in well here. Now, let's talk a bit about what we expect from you and how we can support your growth." He invited her to sit down, and as they talked, Maya felt that Benjamin was genuinely committed to her development. He spoke about the restaurant's philosophy, the importance of customer service, and how he wanted her to learn every aspect of the business, from service to management. "I see a lot of potential in you, Maya," Benjamin said, looking directly at her. "And I want you to know that I'm here to support your growth. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. We all do, and that's how we learn." Maya nodded, feeling a mix of gratitude and determination. "I'll do my best, Mr. Benjamin. I want to make the most of this opportunity and won't let you down." "I know you won't," Benjamin replied, with a confident smile. "Let's get started. Alice will guide you today and in the coming days to make sure you're comfortable and learn everything you need. And remember, if you need anything, my door is always open." With those words, Maya felt a surge of confidence rise within her. This was a new beginning, and she was ready to face any challenge. Alice led her back to the dining area, where they started with basic instructions, covering the menu details, regular customers' preferences, and the restaurant's style of service. During the training, Maya worked side by side with other staff members, like Carlos, the head chef, and Jasmine, an experienced waitress who quickly became her friend. Jasmine, always cheerful, soon noticed Maya's anxiety and tried to reassure her. "Don't worry, Maya. We all get nervous at first, but you'll get the hang of it quickly," Jasmine said as they prepared a table for the next group of customers. "Thanks, Jasmine. It's a lot to take in, but I'm doing my best," Maya replied, trying to stay focused. Carlos, passing by, added, "Here, we help each other out. If you need anything, just ask." Maya smiled, feeling more at ease. As the hours passed, she began to adapt to the restaurant's pace, learning from each experience. There were challenging moments, like dealing with complicated orders or demanding customers, but she remembered Benjamin's words and the importance of not letting small mistakes bring her down. By the end of the day, Maya was exhausted but satisfied. She felt she had done a good job and, with time, could really excel in this environment. As she left the restaurant, she ran into Benjamin, who was just leaving his office. "How was your first day?" he asked, looking at her with curiosity. "Tiring but really good," Maya replied with a smile. "I feel like I still have a lot to learn, but I'm excited." "That's what matters," Benjamin said with a nod of approval. "Keep it up, and soon you'll be leading here. See you tomorrow." Maya thanked him and went home, where Jaden and Amara were eagerly waiting to hear about her day. She shared everything, leaving out the tougher parts, focusing on the positives and the support she had received. That night, as she lay down to sleep, Maya felt she had taken the first step on a journey that, while uncertain, was full of possibilities. She knew there would still be many challenges ahead, but with the support of those around her and her own determination, she was ready to face whatever came her way. The weeks flew by, and Maya began to adjust better to the rhythm at the Magnolia Table. She was learning a lot and adapting well to the environment. However, as days turned into weeks, things began to get complicated. The pressure of the job, the increasing expectations, and the need to balance her personal life with the new job started to weigh heavily on her. One afternoon, Maya was in the middle of a busy shift when Alice, the manager, approached with a serious look on her face. "Maya, I need to talk to you in the office," Alice said, her tone indicating that the conversation wouldn't be easy. Maya felt a pang of concern but followed Alice to the small office at the back of the restaurant. Once inside, Alice closed the door and gestured for Maya to take a seat. "I've noticed that lately, you've been struggling to keep up. And while I appreciate your dedication, we need to discuss some mistakes you've made recently," Alice began, her expression understanding but firm. Maya swallowed hard, feeling the weight of Alice's words. She knew she wasn't perfect, but hearing it from the manager made her feel a mix of frustration and discouragement. "I know I've made some mistakes," Maya admitted, looking at Alice. "I'm trying to adjust, but sometimes it's hard to balance everything. I don't want to let you or Mr. Carter down." Alice nodded, understanding the situation. "Maya, no one expects you to be perfect. We know this is a challenging environment, and we've all been through it at the start. But it's important that you stay focused, especially during peak times. If you need help, we're here to support you, but you also need to find a way to handle the pressure." Maya took a deep breath, feeling trapped between her responsibilities and her ambitions. "I'll try harder, Alice. I promise. I just need a bit more time." Alice gave a small, encouraging smile. "I believe in you, Maya. Just don't let the stress consume your passion. Remember why you started here. I know you have what it takes to succeed." After the conversation with Alice, Maya returned to the dining area with a mix of emotions. She felt challenged but also more determined than ever to improve. However, as the week continued, the challenges did not lessen. The pressure to perform well and the growing expectations from Benjamin and Alice left her exhausted. One night, after a particularly tough day, Maya came home completely worn out. Jaden and Amara were playing in the living room, but when they saw how tired their mother looked, they rushed to her. "Mom, you look tired," Amara said with a concerned voice. Maya tried to smile, but the fatigue was evident. "I'm a bit tired, honey. It's been a long day." Jaden, ever observant, asked, "Do you still like your new job, Mom?" Maya knelt beside her children, trying to find the right words. "I do like it, Jaden. But it's very hard, and sometimes things don't go as we expect." Amara snuggled into her mother's lap. "Are you going to give up?" Amara's question hit Maya hard. She had never considered the possibility of giving up, but the difficulties of recent days were beginning to weigh on her. "No, sweetheart. I'm not going to give up," Maya said firmly. "I just need to find a way to make it all work." That night, after the kids were in bed, Maya sat at the kitchen table, staring at the phone. She knew she needed to vent, and the first person who came to mind was Benjamin. She hesitated, wondering if she should bother him with her worries, but knew he was the only person who would truly understand. Taking a deep breath, Maya dialed Benjamin's number. He answered after a few rings, his calm voice on the other end of the line. "Maya, how are you?" Benjamin asked with genuine concern. "I'm confused," Maya admitted, her voice revealing exhaustion. "Things are tough at work. I've made some mistakes, and now I'm starting to wonder if I'm really capable of doing this." Benjamin was silent for a moment before responding carefully. "Maya, we all go through moments like this, especially when we're in a new and challenging environment. But let me tell you something. You are more than capable. I saw something in you from the start, which is why I made that offer. But you also need to believe in yourself." Maya felt tears welling up but tried to keep her composure. "It's hard, Benjamin. Sometimes it feels like I'm not going to be able to handle everything. I don't want to disappoint you." "You're not going to disappoint me, Maya. But you need to learn to be kind to yourself. You're trying to juggle a lot, being a mom, working in a new place, learning everything from scratch. That's a lot, and it's normal to feel overwhelmed. But remember, no one expects you to be perfect. We just want you to keep trying, keep growing." Maya wiped away her tears silently. Benjamin's words were comforting, but she knew she still had a long way to go. "Thank you, Benjamin. Your words mean a lot to me. I'm here to support you, Maya. Whenever you need to talk, I'm available. And remember, you're not alone. The team is here to help you. Don't be afraid to ask for help." After hanging up, Maya felt a bit lighter. She knew she still had much to learn and many challenges to face, but Benjamin's words renewed her determination. She decided that she would not give up, no matter how difficult things got. As she prepared for bed, Maya looked at her sleeping children and felt a new surge of strength. They were her motivation, and she was determined to overcome any obstacle for them. She knew the coming days would be crucial, but she was ready to face them head-on. Over the months, Maya began to adjust better to the rhythm of the Magnolia table. She was becoming more efficient in her tasks and finding ways to manage the pressure. Despite the progress, challenges continued to arise, and the reality of working in a luxury restaurant was not always easy. One day, while Maya was in the middle of a particularly busy shift, an unhappy customer made a comment that frustrated her. It was a regular customer known for his demanding attitude. He had made a special request, and upon receiving the dish, complained that it wasn't as he expected. "This isn't how I ordered it," the customer exclaimed, his voice laden with disdain. "How could you mess up such a simple order?" Maya tried to stay calm despite the growing tension. "I'm sorry for the inconvenience, sir. I'll resolve this immediately." She headed to the kitchen, where she found Carlos, the head chef, with a concerned look on his face. "Carlos, the customer is complaining that the dish isn't as he ordered. Can you help fix this?" Carlos looked at Maya, his expression indicating he was aware of the situation. "Sure, I'll take care of it right away. Don't worry." Maya returned to the dining area and met with the customer again, trying to apologize. "I'm sorry for the mistake. I'm working to resolve the issue and make sure you're satisfied." The customer seemed a little calmer seeing Maya's sincerity but was still dissatisfied. "I hope this doesn't happen again." Maya nodded. "Certainly, sir. Thank you for your understanding." Later, when the customer finally left, Alice approached Maya with a concerned expression. "How did it go with that customer?" Alice asked. Maya sighed, relieved that the situation had been resolved. "It was tough. The customer was quite upset, but I managed to fix the problem." Alice gave a slight smile. "I saw the effort you put in. These moments are challenging, but they're part of the job. It's important to learn how to handle these situations and stay calm." Maya agreed but couldn't shake off the weight on her shoulders. "I'm still trying to adjust to all of this. Sometimes, I feel like I'm not living up to expectations." Alice placed a comforting hand on Maya's shoulder. "We all go through that. What matters is that you're learning and improving. Don't forget that we're here to support you." As the weeks went by, Maya started to feel more confident. Her experience at the restaurant was teaching her a lot, and she was beginning to stand out in her role. However, personal challenges were still present, and balancing work and family continued to be a constant struggle. One night, after a particularly tough shift, Maya came home exhausted. Jaden and Amara were watching TV, and she joined them on the couch, trying to relax a bit before bed. "How was your day, Mom?" Jaden asked, looking at her with curiosity. "It was tiring but a good day," Maya replied, forcing a smile. "We had a difficult customer, but I managed to handle it." Amara, always sensitive to her mother's state, asked with a worried tone, "You're tired, Mom?" Maya smiled, though the exhaustion was evident in her eyes. "Yes, I'm a bit tired, but it's part of the job. I just need some rest." Jaden seemed thoughtful for a moment before saying, "You're doing an amazing job, Mom. We know it's hard, but we're really proud of you." Jaden's words touched Maya's heart. She leaned in to hug him, feeling a wave of gratitude. "Thank you, Jaden. That means a lot to me." That night, after tucking the kids in bed, Maya sat at the kitchen table, reflecting on her journey. She felt exhausted but also satisfied with the progress she had made. She knew there were still many challenges ahead, but she was becoming stronger and more capable. The phone rang, interrupting her thoughts. It was Benjamin. "Maya, how are you doing?" Benjamin asked, his voice full of genuine concern. "I'm good," Maya replied, trying to sound optimistic. "Just a bit tired. It was a tough day today." Benjamin noticed the tension in her voice. "I know things can be challenging. But remember, you're doing very well. Sometimes it's important to step back and acknowledge the progress you've made, even when things seem difficult." "You're right," Maya agreed. "I just need to keep pushing forward and not let the challenges get me down." Benjamin smiled, his voice full of encouragement. "Exactly. And remember, if you need anything, my door is always open." You've been doing an amazing job, and I'm very proud of what you've achieved so far." Maya said goodbye to Benjamin, feeling more uplifted. His words were a welcome reminder that she was on the right path. As she prepared for bed, Maya felt a renewed sense of purpose. She knew the journey would be long and full of challenges, but she was determined to keep fighting. With the support of those around her and the inner strength she was developing, she believed she was closer than ever to reaching her goals. Maya had finally started to feel comfortable with her routine at the Magnolia table. Her confidence was growing, and she had built good relationships with her co-workers and the clientele. However, with progress came a new challenge: competition for a promotion that could change the course of her career. The restaurant was preparing to open a new branch in a nearby neighborhood, and Benjamin had decided to promote someone to supervisor to manage the new location. Maya was excited about the possibility but knew the competition would be tough. During a lunch with Alice and a few other staff members, the topic of the new branch came up. "We're very excited about the opening of the new branch," Alice said as she set the table. "It's going to be a great opportunity for all of us." "Yes, and it's going to be an interesting challenge," agreed Carlos, the head chef. "We're looking for someone to lead the team there. It's a big responsibility." Maya, who was helping to arrange the tables, tried to seem uninterested, but her mind was buzzing with thoughts. She knew this could be the chance she had been waiting for to advance in her career. After lunch, Maya found Benjamin in his office and seized the opportunity to express her interest in the supervisor position. "Mr. Benjamin, can I speak with you for a moment?" Maya asked, a bit nervous. "Of course, Maya. Come in," Benjamin replied with a welcoming smile. Maya entered and took a seat, trying to stay calm. "I heard about the new branch and the supervisor position. I'd like to apply for the role." Benjamin looked at her attentively. "I expected someone like you to show interest. You've demonstrated a lot of growth and dedication. Why do you think you'd be the right choice for this position?" Maya took a deep breath and gathered her thoughts. "I believe I have the experience and knowledge needed to lead a team. Also, I'm familiar with the restaurant's operations and philosophy. I'm ready to take on new challenges and contribute to the success of the new branch." Benjamin smiled, satisfied with her response. "I appreciate your enthusiasm and dedication. But keep in mind, this position comes with significant responsibility. There will be challenges and difficulties, and you'll need to be prepared to handle them." "I understand, sir," Maya responded firmly. "I'm willing to work hard and face any obstacles that come my way." "Great. Let's set up a formal interview to discuss the details and assess your fit for the position. I'm looking forward to hearing your ideas on how you would lead the new team." With that, Maya left Benjamin's office feeling a mix of excitement and nervousness. She knew the competition would be tough, but she was determined to stand out. In the following days, Maya prepared carefully for the interview. She studied the restaurant's operations, reviewed leadership strategies, and thought about ways to improve the new branch. During the interview, she made every effort to showcase her knowledge and vision for the new location. Benjamin and Alice listened attentively as Maya presented her ideas. She talked about how she planned to maintain high service standards and commitment to quality, as well as how she would integrate the team and handle potential challenges. After the interview, Benjamin and Alice met to discuss the candidates. They were impressed with Maya's performance but also had other options to consider. "I think Maya has the potential to do an excellent job," Benjamin said as he reviewed the interview notes. "She has a deep understanding of what's needed and seems ready to take on the responsibility." Alice agreed. "Yes, but we also need to consider the impact this change will have on the current team. If Maya is promoted, we'll need someone to fill her role here at the Magnolia table." "That's true," Benjamin acknowledged. "We'll need to make a careful choice. But if Maya continues to show the same level of commitment and competence, she could be the right choice." A few days later, Benjamin called Maya in for a meeting. "Maya, I'd like to congratulate you," Benjamin began with a smile. "You've been selected to be the supervisor of the new branch." Maya was momentarily stunned before a big smile spread across her face. "Thank you, sir. I'm really excited about this opportunity. I'm confident you'll do an excellent job. Now we need to discuss the next steps and how we'll manage the transition," Benjamin said. Maya spent the next few days preparing for her new role, handling the transition, and helping coordinate the final details for the new branch's opening. She also started training a new team member to take over her responsibilities at the Magnolia table. As she prepared for the new branch's opening, Maya felt a mix of anxiety and excitement. She knew the job would be challenging, but she was ready to face whatever came her way. With the support of Benjamin, Alice, and her colleagues, she was confident she could make a difference and succeed in her new position. The new branch of the Magnolia table was about to open its doors, and the air was filled with both anxiety and excitement. Maya was immersed in the final preparations, ensuring every detail was perfect for the grand opening. She had temporarily moved to the neighborhood where the new branch was located to be closer to work and coordinate the team effectively. On the day before the opening, Maya held a final training and planning session with her team. "We're almost there, everyone," Maya started, trying to convey both enthusiasm and calm. "Today is the last day to make sure everything is running perfectly. Let's review the menu, the procedures, and ensure everyone knows what to do." The team, composed of new employees and some transfers from the Magnolia table, listened attentively. Among them was Sarah, an enthusiastic young woman who had moved from the original branch to help with the new location's opening. "Maya, I have a question," Sarah said, raising her hand. "How do you plan to handle customer expectations and ensure the experience is the same as at the other branches?" Maya smiled, appreciating the question. "Great question, Sarah. The key is to maintain consistency and quality in everything we do. We'll follow the standard procedures, but we also need to be attentive to individual customer needs. The experience should be personalized, but within the high standards we've set." Carlos, who had come to help with the opening, nodded in agreement. "I'll be there to ensure the kitchen runs like clockwork. And if we need to make any adjustments, we'll do it on the spot." Maya nodded. "Perfect. Remember, we're all here to support each other. If you encounter any problems, let me know immediately. Together, we'll make this branch a great success." On the morning of the opening, the tension was palpable. Maya did her final checks before opening the doors. She inspected the layout of the tables, checked the inventory, and ensured all staff were ready for the influx of customers. Benjamin and Alice arrived to offer their support on the big day. Benjamin, with an approving look, found Maya at the entrance. "How's it going, Maya?" Benjamin asked, smiling. "I'm nervous but excited," Maya admitted, trying to hide her anxiety. "Everything seems to be ready. I just hope it goes well." "I'm sure it will be a success. You've done an amazing job preparing everything," Benjamin said. "Remember, it's normal to feel nervous, but you're ready for this." Alice approached to give one last boost of encouragement. "Maya, you've worked so hard and shown tremendous competence. Trust yourself and your team. We believe in you." The first wave of customers started to arrive just before the official opening. Maya, with a smile on her face, greeted the customers and guided them to their tables. The team was energized and doing their best to provide exceptional service. As the night went on, Maya noticed that the team was functioning very well. The kitchen was coordinated, the servers were quick, and the customers were happy with the quality of the service and the dishes. In the middle of the night, Maya met with Benjamin and Alice in the break room. "How's it going?" Benjamin asked, looking interested. "It's going really well," Maya replied, with a relieved smile. "We're exceeding expectations. The team is doing great, and the customers seem satisfied." Alice smiled with satisfaction. "That's wonderful to hear. You've done an excellent job, Maya. The opening is going really well, and it's clear that your leadership has made a difference." Benjamin nodded. "Yes, Maya. You're doing a great job. Keep up the positive energy. You're showing exactly why you were the right choice for this position." Maya felt encouraged by Benjamin and Alice's words. The night continued to go well, and the new location was filled with satisfied customers. As the night approached its end, Maya took a moment to review the day's results. The numbers were positive, and customer feedback was excellent. When the last customer left and the team started cleaning up, Maya felt a deep sense of accomplishment. She gathered the team to thank them for their hard work. "I want to thank all of you for an amazing job today. The opening was a success, and that's thanks to the effort and dedication of each one of you," Maya said sincerely. "We're just getting started, and there's a lot of work ahead, but today we showed that we're capable of great things." The team applauded, and Maya felt a wave of pride and satisfaction. She knew that the success of the opening was just the beginning of a new journey, but she was excited about what the future held. With the support of her team, Benjamin and Alice, and with the strength she had found within herself, Maya was ready to face any challenge that came her way. She was determined to keep making a difference and create a lasting legacy at the new Magnolia Table location. Time passed, and the new Magnolia Table location became a huge success. Maya had proven to be an effective leader, and the team was running smoothly. The branch was thriving, and the hard work was paying off. But Maya's journey was far from over. A new challenge was on the horizon. Maya was in the kitchen, checking the preparations for a special event that was going to be held at the branch. The restaurant was gearing up for a gala dinner to celebrate the success of the new unit and the contribution of all the staff. It was an opportunity to celebrate and also reflect on what had been achieved. Benjamin walked into the kitchen with a smile on his face. "Maya, do you have a moment?" "Of course, Benjamin," Maya replied, turning to face him. "What can I do for you?" "I just wanted to tell you how impressed I am with what you've accomplished," Benjamin said, looking around with pride. "The new branch is a success, and you've done an exceptional job leading the team. I also wanted to know if you've thought about the future." Maya frowned, curious. "The future? What do you mean?" Benjamin hesitated for a moment, choosing his words carefully. "Well, as you know, the success of the new branch has opened doors to new opportunities. There's a possibility of further expansion and opening additional locations. And I'd like to know if you'd be interested in taking on a broader role, perhaps overseeing multiple branches." Maya's heart raced with the news. That would be a huge responsibility, but also an incredible opportunity. "I'd love to consider that possibility. But first, I'd like to know more about what it would involve." Benjamin smiled, pleased with her response. "I'll explain the details, but I want you to know that this decision doesn't need to be made immediately. Take the time you need to think about it." As the conversation continued, Alice walked into the kitchen and overheard part of the discussion. She approached with an excited look. "What's going on here?" "We're talking about new opportunities for Maya," Benjamin replied. "It looks like she's interested in a broader role." Alice smiled at Maya. "That's fantastic, Maya. You deserve this chance. I've always known you had the potential for great things." Maya smiled shyly, feeling honored by Alice's words. "Thank you, Alice. I really appreciate the support and confidence you both have in me." Later, the gala dinner began, and the restaurant was filled with clients and staff celebrating the success of the new branch. Maya, elegantly dressed for the occasion, moved between the tables, talking with guests and thanking everyone for their support. In the middle of the night, Maya took to the stage to give a brief speech. She looked out at the audience with a grateful smile. "Good evening, everyone. I want to sincerely thank you all for being here to celebrate this special night with us. The success of the new branch wouldn't have been possible without each one of you. I am deeply grateful for the dedication and hard work of my team and for the trust that Benjamin and Alice have placed in me." The audience applauded warmly, and Maya felt emotional. "This is just the beginning. We have big plans for the future, and I'm excited to continue working with all of you to achieve new milestones." After the speech, Maya was approached by several team members and clients who congratulated her on the success. She chatted with them, sharing smiles and thanks. That night, as the event came to a close, Benjamin found Maya in a quieter corner of the restaurant. "How was the speech?" Benjamin asked, with a curious look. "It was great. I felt really supported and excited about the future," Maya replied, with a sincere smile. "Thank you for everything." Benjamin smiled back. "You deserve every success you're achieving. Now, enjoy the night and celebrate with your team. Tomorrow, we'll talk more about future opportunities." Maya spent the rest of the evening celebrating with her team and enjoying the success they had achieved. As the night wore on, she felt grateful for how far she had come and excited about the possibilities the future might bring. As the final song played and the guests began to say their goodbyes, Maya reflected on her journey. From the humbling experiences at the Magnolia Table to the success of the new branch, she had overcome significant challenges and grown in ways she had never imagined. With the support of Benjamin, Alice, and her team, and with her own determination and strength, Maya was ready to face the next chapter of her professional life. She knew the future would be filled with new challenges, but she was confident that she was more prepared than ever to tackle them.